Another season of Nashville soccer here in the Music City. Claudio Villalobos, Nick Frazier, 125 The Game, Nashville Total Sports. Claudio, final preseason match for Nashville SC before they hit the ground running for their season. Your thoughts?
Well, Nick, when we left, it was cold.
Yeah.
We're back and we're cold again.
Still cold. I don't get the Nashville weather, man. It's all up and down. But an interesting performance today.
It was. I mean, you got to think about for what it is. This is not a real game, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to still test on this team. It's nice to see the new guys setting up, some kind of minutes in there. And for us, it was a first opportunity to see him.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of stuff that I liked. I think you do it too. And there's plenty of work, though.
Yeah.
There's plenty of work. Some of the other stuff I don't think is solved. One thing that worries a little bit, maybe to just a regular viewer, is that the first game is just this coming Tuesday, right away.
Yeah.
4 points, you can lose. You probably have to go as far as a tie, if anything, the worst case scenario in Hamilton, in Ottawa. So we'll see. But at this point, what I saw today, besides the fact that Nashville did stuff, Lexington,
they look good too.
They look good too.
And you have to give credit to the people that schedule all of this, because last year Lexington kind of gave them a run for their money a little bit. And the same thing this year. They have good talent. And I think that's something that a lot of people have to realize. And Nashville, again, this preseason, I wouldn't say they're experimenting things, but, with the signings that they brought in, BJ and Mike Jacobs both have expressed the versatility and how this team is young and they need to grow. Again, that's what preseason soccer is for.
Yes.
It's all about versatility and growth and seeing what you can do with this lineup. And again, BJ's experimenting things, and I like it. And that was one of the questions that I asked him at the end of the, scrum today was, how is the back pairing looking like with the center backs? And I think he's pleased for the most part. But as for me, I'm pleased with it.
Oh yeah, we were discussing, not discussing, but talking about it a little bit on the press box that once these two guys, Jason Palacios and Max
Wozinski. Yeah.
Was it Woledzi?
Woledzi.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. We'll
get there.
We'll learn it. We'll get there. Once these two guys get together, I don't know, 4 or 5 games under the belt, they're gonna be very strong.
Yeah.
Maybe the strongest pair in the league, to be honest with you. What I see today. One of the things I liked is also that when you mentioned a little bit of it, Lexington came to play, and no matter what division you are in football, in soccer, if you come to play, you probably you can have a good performance. Where maybe the higher up team, in this case Nashville in the MLS, doesn't look at the MLS, but no, it did. I think it did. It's just that Lexington really played a very good game and gave them a run for the money.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that kind of attracted my eye a little bit was just seeing how Nashville was able to move the ball around today. And last season it was very, I would say, one-sided, and meaning the ball would always funnel on the right side of the pitch, where it was always, you build up from the back, but it always somehow got to Andy Nahar.
Right.
And then from Andy Nahar, it ended up going to Jacob Schaufelberg, cutting back into to Sam Erhani, back out to Andy, and they pass it right up to the right flank. This year, it's a little like that, but also, too, there's a little bit more versatility when it comes to evening out the play. We're still seeing a little bit more top-heavy stuff on the right side, but yet Ahmed Qasim is taking that left winger role now in this formation that BJ has. And again, no Johnny Perez, and we'll get into more of that in the podcast, but just the fact is you're still seeing the same tendencies from Nashville last season, and you hope they can kind of snap out of that and be more even.
One of the nicest things that we've talked about off microphone when we call each other or meet somewhere, but the only thing that these teams lacked for so many years was depth. Mm-hmm. And when you look at perhaps the coaches, not only Gary but BJ, trying to make changes in the middle of the game to win it, to tie it, or something else, and just it was the personnel wasn't there.
Yeah,
this just was not there. Now it is. When he goes back and look at the drive to the bench, he's going to find a few key players that are going to probably make a difference, even play better in some games than the starters.
Right.
I mean, we're looking at, I just asked him that question about how difficult it has become to actually just have the same pair of strikers like Sam Surish and Hani Mokhtar, which has been the history of this team. And now he goes back to the bench and finds William Spacious and Warren Madrigal there. Mm-hmm. That's got to be nice.
Look, I'm excited to see a guy like Warren Madrigal, a young player who has that Segundo division in La Liga, which with Valencia, I think
Right.
that's a huge plus for this Nashville team
It
because
is.
it's almost like you're getting a guy at a bargain deal because he's from Saprissa, right? The Costa Rican club you're familiar with.
Right.
And when you bring a guy like that was on loan from Saprissa, played in the second league of La Liga, you're still playing at a high level.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of people don't realize that when you play second division La Liga compared to the MLS, it's almost pretty equal, so you're getting a cheaper deal. So I like that bring in from a guy like Warren Madrigal, Costa Rican, a guy that you're very familiar with. I'm sure you're happy with the
Oh, yeah, I'm happy.
Costa Rican guy yourself.
Anytime I see a guy in Costa Rica going out to play, I mean, it talks a lot about what the teams down there are doing, and especially when it comes so close, like in this case right here, the city with Nashville. Well, of course, me, my family, we're not many, but the Costa Ricans in the city are happy again to have somebody after the departure of Randall Leal.
Yeah.
Well, it's that closeness, and you want the guy to be successful.
Sure.
And not only that, because if you're somebody from our country, but if he's successful, Nashville will be as well.
Very true. I'm still waiting for them to grab one Italian, though. Just give me an Italian guy here. I'll be happy as a clam. Come on, Mike Jacobs. Do me a favor here.
Talking about Mike Jacobs, Mike Jacobs has come a long way.
He's done a really good job.
We criticize him sometimes because of some of the movements he's done with this team through his history with them. But this off season, I believe he's done a very, very good job, and he's got lucky on a couple of things that happened with the departure of Jacob Schaffelberg, and now lately with Johnny Perez to Chivas.
Yep.
I mean, those things. General managers need those kind of
extra boost to the
Yeah.
entire, I guess, off season. But again, giving him the credit, and I think understand now with the departures of Walker Zimmerman and, like you just mentioned, Johnny Perez, Jacob Schaffelberg, we understood now that there was a little bit of a roster restriction for a guy like Mike Jacobs.
Yeah.
Under Gary Smith, it was about the system, wasn't really able to add or keep, whichever it may be. Under BJ Callahan, the aggressiveness to go grab players that fit the system is exactly what this club needed. And again, you have to hit on a few players before you can start, having the domino effect happen of getting players consistently. And you're seeing it. A guy like Sam Surridge, who had a great couple seasons here with Nashville so far, you're starting to see the domino effect now. When you grab a guy like Maxwell Wolzinski, we'll get there. But no, you go grab other guys like that, Warren Madrigal, just plenty of other players. Bringing up Ruben Pacious from Tampa Bay.
We haven't talked about one of the main figures this offseason for Nashville.
And
that's Christian Espinosa.
Exactly.
He got a good game today already.
Yep.
It's
Had
a goal. Far from his best shape yet,
Yep.
but he can show. You can tell he's going to be a really key factor in whatever Nashville does this season for sure.
And our big, I guess you could say, concern bringing in a guy like Christian Espinosa was the age. Well, is the age going to play a factor
No.
in the way he plays? Absolutely not. The way he is, again, I'm not going to compare him to Messi, but like the way he positions himself on the field, he is very tactically sound. He understands where his body and play needs to be on the field. He's socially aware of his surroundings, and so when you do that, you then understand the system. And I think that's something you can be.
And not only that, you can tell, but by the way he steps on the field, the way he manages himself inside the pitch, the movements, that history behind his feet. That experience, maturity, it shows right there in the field. I mean, it's one of those things that here's a guy, Christian Espinosa. He's been in the league for a while. He's done well wherever he's been. He comes from Argentina. Soccer is life there, or life is soccer, wherever you want to see it. And that really tells you that you got a guy that once he steps in there, once the coach puts him in the starting position, especially on the team, he's not scared of anybody or anything. He's ready to do his stuff. He's going to do it. He knows how to do it. And today I'm not going to say he was the best on the team, but the way he chose today, it only confirms what we're expecting about his history in the league and what he can do.
And also, too, you got to remember something that I already mentioned about the center backs, about the chemistry you have to build. Same thing with Christian Espinosa up top. When you look at a guy like Sam Surridge and Hani Mukhtar and Christian Espinosa, you put them in the equation. That top three there is going to be interchanging, and even BJ's alluded to that it'll be an interchanging thing in press conferences. Even Mike Jacobs' intentions for this club, especially with Espinosa, was to bring him in and be a factor into the offensive attack, and that's something that you're going to have to see over time. So looking into Tuesday a little bit, and this is how I'm going to wrap my stream up. We'll continue with yours.
Sure.
But the way you look at this lineup is that you'll see some, quirks here and there on Tuesday night. But the thing is, this team, I think, is a second half team. I think you have to ease them into things, and then the second half they adjust and they know what to do. And I think that's what you're seeing out there today against Lexington.
One final thought that on a question I'm asking you, which
Uh-huh.
you already know my answer to it anyways. Didn't it seem to you that Christian Espinosa's been there forever?
Yeah, he looked comfortable out there. Again, that's the
He looked like
confidence
an
early
old
is.
Nashvilleian, didn't it?
He's a veteran. I mean, in a good way. He's a veteran in a good way.
Yeah.
He's not in a bad way. I mean, he understands the game. He understands his teammates. And again, the preseason is about learning what your teammates like. If it's a certain pass outside or inside. We saw a handful of times this afternoon, especially in the first half with Espinosa, there were a few passes that Hani played in front of the defender that he should have played on the outside shoulder of the defender, and he tried to fit it into a tight window. I think later on in the season that works. Right now it doesn't, because you're still trying to familiarize yourself with your teammates.
That's now that you mentioned Hani and what he was doing in the field. That's the only one question that I have, and maybe the answer BJ has it, or the team will bring it along in the next games or so. But we saw in the Hani Mokhtar again paired with Zurich, both very on the outside of the big area for most of the game. I'm not sure, and we talked about it before, Nick. I'm not sure that's the best position for Hani, and that's especially after what he showed last season.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? That's my question today after the game. What's going to happen with that? Because not only that, according to just respect to Hani, referencing Hani, but what's going to happen once Women's Patios comes in Warren? Because, I mean, there's a whole different game right there.
Well, you got to remember, too, Claudio, like that's the next wave of talent for this team. They're not the now. Again, it's good to have young talent like that can mature quickly, because then you can rely on your depth, and that's something that this team needs right now, is a little bit of depth in some spots. But when it comes to Hani Mokhtar, and you mentioned his positioning, I kind of agree a little bit. Where you have to drop Hani into that more 10 role, where he can drop more into the midfield, facilitate passes out left, out right. I think we'll see more of Christian Espinosa flourish in that role as well, off of Hani, where he drops back. He can make those overlapping runs on the outside. And then look, when you make the overlapping runs to either Christian or Sam out left, that's the beauty about Sam. He likes to cut in on his right, and he likes to curl it. But again, he's not that type of guy. He's more the guy that you can play him in the box.
I'm going to say it in a kind of a funnier way.
Sure.
I believe this team, BJ, and I might be completely wrong. That's why I'm not the coach.
Right.
And I'm happy I'm not. But this team cannot afford Danny to become, in his mind, the full great scorer for the team.
He's not the focal point of this team anymore.
He can be anymore.
Yeah.
And it seems to me, and I'm afraid of when I say this, that anytime you pair him right there in the front, like next to Zurich, that might come back to his mind, thinking, well, when I'm here, I should become the same goal scorer that I was when the team began. And that shouldn't be, because then the team loses his work, his job, his good soccer behind the line, like you said.
And again, I think he'll learn that with time. This team will build chemistry and understand each other's quirks. And once they do that, again, this team, to me, I think sky's the limit. And I had somebody comment on my Twitter earlier. Joey mentioned on there, is this a bit of a concern after today's drill? Absolutely not. This is preseason. You're working out the kinks. They'll be fine. But to hear more from me and Claudio Villalobos, you know where to go.
Can we finish with this, though? Sure. The best thing you saw today, and the worst, if there's anything worse.
Yeah, the best thing I saw today was the ball movement from Andy Nahar outright with Espinosa, that connection. I think that's going to be a genius thing. The worst thing I saw today was probably the second pairing defensively with Jack Mayer and Chris Applewhite. That right there, I think, no discredit to Jack. I think it's just more the people around him. And I mean, he did get beat on the byline there, so I don't know. We'll see how that all plays out. I don't know. Again, it's all a competition, but that's probably the worst thing I saw today, was just the lack of attention in the back when it came to just dispossessing balls.
To me, it was the pair, Jason and Maxwell, and the defense on the back, excellent, or at least very good. Mm-hmm. And the one part that worries me from today is the play on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
The play on the left-hand side. I'm not sure. It seems like Lovitz is right up there still.
Yeah.
Keep fighting for his position, which I like it. But then when you go a step further up on that side, then we still have I'm still waiting for Ahmed Kassam to be what he can be.
I take that back. Yeah, it's not the center back should be in the second half. It's Ahmed Kassam. Thank you. You brought that up. I forgot about that completely. His physicality on the ball needs a little bit needs to be more strong. It needs to be stronger. Simple as that. He needs to be a stronger physical player, but that's just not the way he plays, and hopefully that can change.
Plenty more to talk.
Indeed. Nick Frazier with 102.5 The Game.
Claudio Villalobos.
Nashville Total Sports. You can check out the Talking Calcio podcast coming up this week. Roughly middle of the week. I'll keep you posted on that. Check out my Twitter, the 102.5 The Game Twitter, along with Claudio Villalobos at Nashville Total Sports. Go follow us on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Wherever you get your soccer covered, we got you covered.
We're everywhere.
Exactly. See you guys.
See ya.
Take care.